Alright, what's up with the gang members? We right back. This video I'm gonna say is like a continuation of a video that we did some time ago when we first looked into the high school career of young Bronny James and was seeing his skills at an early age and at a lower level in high school at the time. He was a sophomore, now he's a senior. We also checked out some Bryce highlights before. Y'all could go check out them videos if y'all never see it. But just now, finished watching what's considered their first game as teammates in high school. Bryce and Bronny. They was playing for a team that's representing California. They ended up playing out there in the UK against a team, Hoop Fix. Them boys was pretty good. They actually ended up winning the game by like 6 points, I think it was. What it was, 82, 74, something like that, 76. Either way, Bryce Cooper, not James, even though, Bryce, he nice, lengthy player, growing real fast or whatever. Like, his skills, even which is crazy, like his skills when I ended up watching some of his earlier games. Like I said, we did videos on it before. I realized that he played like a big man, even though like he was taller than a lot of the players on his team or whatever, because he was on a what you call that JV team. So he was like one of the taller players on the team, but he wasn't the tallest. But he played like more like a forward and a center. I noticed that even then at his younger stages. So now, like he his growth spurt kind of went along with his skill set or whatever. So now he's a little taller and all of that stuff. Pretty much like I think competitive with a lot of the big men out there that they had on the court, because one of the dudes, they said he was 6'10", and he wasn't really towering over Bryce. So I was like, dang, I told Lizzie I might have to look into that after the game. I mean, after the video over. But I mean, that's just a stat. He gonna grow even more or whatever before he get out of high school. But yeah, pretty much what I noticed from the game, what I took away from it is that Bronny really came into his own as far as like decision making and all of that stuff. Like early on, his skills, he was already watched by his teammates. Even though each team I seen him play on, well, mainly when he was with Sierra Canyon, I noticed that like his teammates trusted him with the ball. Like that's a thing that you're gonna notice or whatever. Like even people commenting on the game, they mentioning that his leadership and all of that stuff is in question and all of that, or that that's something that's gonna develop over time. Which obviously, like we having them expectations because of who his dad is or whatever. But aside from that, is like as a point guard, I'm gonna say that his teammates always have respected him and all of that kind of stuff. Always gave him the ball. Now, what he do with the ball when he get it is a little different to me at this point, because he looks like before he was always pass first, but it was just like the pass was almost like telegraph. You could say it's like an expected good play, like what I'm saying, like a Chris Paul type of automatic pass or whatever. Like shout out Chris Paul. But it's like now he kind of less obvious with his decision. It's like down a fast break and all of that kind of stuff. Like it's times where he have the option to pass it to the man who right under the bucket and all of that stuff. But you also have a defender right in between that play a lot of times in transition, and he don't always like just quickly go to that. He might hesitate with the pass. Nah, like what I'm saying. Well, what I noticed from that game, he hesitated with the pass on some of them. He'll put up the shot like immediately, like I'm saying, pick his spot and just shoot it or whatever. Just like I said, decision making like within the time that he get the ball now. Like before, like it was always good. It was always clean, like clean basketball play, like more of a Steve Nash type of player. How he just keep the ball moving, like he keep the game going or whatever. Like I'm saying, like it's not just gonna stop because he had the ball. Like not on no disrespect, like not on Curry type of way. Whereas like once he got the ball, you could pretty much like back off your man because it's like, okay, this play over with. Curry reached, they got to the point where he got the ball, like, you know what I'm saying? Or like when Clay get it and it's like, okay, we're expecting a shot, like, you know what I'm saying? You could sag off your man too a little bit with that, which, I mean, it did let shooter, so, that's a different conversation. But, I mean, the reaction on defense is like still the same, it's going to still be the same based on like repetition and what you've seen before or whatever. But it's like the decision making, like I said, from Bronny, like A1 in comparison to his early games and all of that stuff. The shot is way cleaner, like the way set on his shots and all that is like real professional, real consistent, like the same shooting motion each time, like when he setting up for his shots or whatever. Not really as many off balance shots. His teammates was doing a lot of off balance shots or whatever, making them, or making a lot of them, as highlights, so they ain't gonna show everything. But I mean, his teammates was hitting a couple of off balance shots and all of that stuff in the lane and off the dribble and stuff like that, which is always good. And you want to get like some of those in too. But his shooting stroke looked like really clean at this point or whatever, like really developed. I could see it, like if he gonna be in college years and all of that stuff, like I could see his shot becoming like more of a pure shot at this point, like going forward and all that kind of stuff, because he already showing signs of like the development in his shots, and not just from the numbers. Like even though they say he was shooting 38% off catch and shoot so far and all of that stuff, which is really good. But just like I said, like the actual motion of it, like you could tell, like it's developed and all of that stuff, and that it's on a upward trajectory as far as like where he going with it. Like you could tell that he not slacking on shooting and all of that stuff as far as like getting his shots up at practice and all of that stuff or whatever. So shout out to him for that. Shout out to Bryce Cooper, because that ball was cutting up. Like he really stole all the highlights from the team that the California team that Bronny and Bryce playing on or whatever. He had a lot of highlights, as well as I can't remember the other dude's name on number 2. He was letting a lot of shots go from 3 and making them. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna learn his name later in the season if they have a lot more games on YouTube that they're gonna be playing and stuff. But yeah, a lot of development. That's the main thing I could say from both Bronny and Bryce. As far as them being on a team, how I look at that. First of all, like, they obviously gonna be on a team. Like, I'm not saying like that. How do I see them? Like, do they work well as teammates and all of that stuff? I mean, like, I think that's gonna be an automatic thing. They grew up playing together and all of that stuff. Like, that's gonna be their thing, which that's not really fully on display, or on display at all. I'll say in the game that I watched, like, you don't really see a lot of combinations from the James brothers and all of that stuff. But as far as their development individually and in different fields, it's like their skills complement each other. Because like I said, the younger brother, Bryce, he getting his he got a nice shot too or whatever from what I've seen. But like he really on his big man stuff. In a lot of plays I saw him reacting to rebound situations and stuff like that, loose balls and all of that. Putting up shots like as soon as he getting them in the paint and all of that stuff, like without hesitating, and like, you know what I'm saying, giving the defense a chance to figure out what he's gonna do. So like they complement each other in that way or whatever, position wise and skill set wise or whatever. But as far as their individual growth, I think that's the main thing that's on display from that first game that they played together. Just the fact that both of them have really picked up their skills a lot. For Bryce Maximus, like you could tell, like he, worked on things that a younger player usually wouldn't develop so soon or whatever, as far as his post game and all of that. And with Bronny, it's like maybe he noticed, like, I got the ball in my hand all the time, like, you know what I'm saying, like from the past years. It's like, okay, that part is already established, so what do I do with it when I get it now? And that's what he's answering right now, like in front of us. So if you're looking for the answer to that question, you can watch Bronny games going forward, and you'll be able to know, okay, where his decision making skills at this point, where is his decision making skills at this level. Because I mean, once he's in the NBA, we're gonna be watching that closely, and I think we're gonna notice, like, we're gonna be comparing a lot of the things that he does that LeBron is doing right now that LeBron already did. So being a maestro with the ball and being able to coordinate different plays and all of that stuff for your team, like on the fly. It's something that we're gonna be talking about like over the next years or whatever when as we seeing Bronny. I think similar to how we are with LaMelo Ball and how his like the plays that he make happen at like that his brother probably can also make like Lonzo, because he a more I'll say historic type of point guard, like his skill set is like more of how the game has been and all of that stuff or whatever in a positive way. Like I'm saying, like if you showing like signs of the greats that played before you or whatever, obviously that's not an insult, but it's like the risk that LaMelo take and all of that stuff that pay off for him and all of that give him his name, as far as like the kind of plays that he is able to add to your team or add to your playbook and all of that stuff on the fly. And I think like that's the kind of stuff that like those intangible things, like that's the kind of stuff that Bronny is bringing to the table or whatever. Like I don't think we've seen that yet with Bryce, as far as like what his special intangibles will be at this point. But I think it's kind of showing with Bronny more that like his mindset on the fly and all of that stuff, and like the decisions that anybody could make, but that they don't always make like as quickly and clean, like neat plays like he making. I think that's what we're gonna see a lot from him, and that's what we're gonna be impressed by later from Bronny. Like aside from whatever athletic abilities that he pick up on, like and still is I feel like it's yet to see with Bryce. Like he does have like playmaking skills and all of that stuff or whatever, but it's just like almost like watching you're watching closely like your brother, you're watching players like around you and all of that stuff. So it's like he like almost mimicking, or like in the past I haven't seen him like so much yet of what he got with him now, but like as far as mimicking like good plays and stuff that he's seen around him, like he's good at that, like, well, he has been good at that. So I'm pretty sure soon he gonna be showing us some heat, like different stuff that that just comes with being Bryce or whatever, Bryce James and all of that stuff. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see some plays like that soon. Either way, y'all check out that video. It's fire. It's like pretty much just under the terms first high school game together, Bryce and Bronny. You'll end up seeing the full video. Seeing them compete against a team in London. They say that the team's first week playing together, and it like it's like on some AAU pickup type of stuff, like because it's all great players, like what I'm saying. Like, they ended up winning the game, so that just tells you a lot if you know anything about Bryce and Bronny, like from Sierra Canyon and all of that kind of stuff. Like they're pretty good, so the other team had to be nice too, like to beat them, But yeah, check out that video. Comment, let me know like how y'all feeling about it and all that kind of stuff. Send me links and all of that stuff to other videos that y'all feel like is some heat. Post me y'all reactions and all of that stuff. I mean, tag me and stuff like that. See y'all on another one.